House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's 82-year-old husband is recovering after a vicious beating by an intruder armed with a hammer. Paul Pelosi was rushed into surgery for a skull fracture. Police saying tonight that the attacker said, "Where's Nancy?" and that the actions of the 911 operator, they say, were life-saving. Here's ABC's Mola Lenghi.
The brutal attack inside Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi's home. Her husband, Paul Pelosi, beaten with a hammer in the middle of the night. Police and the FBI believe Speaker Pelosi was the intended target. A man identified by police as 42-year-old David DePape breaking into the Pelosi's San Francisco home. Sources telling ABC News the suspect entered through a glass door, shouting, quote, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" Police arriving on scene around 2:30 a.m., moments before the violent attack, witnessing it firsthand.
They observed Mr. Pelosi and Mr. DePape each with one hand on a single hammer. Officers, while still outside of the doorway threshold, gave commands to both men to drop the hammer. Mr. DePape immediately pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently attacked him.
Pelosi and the suspect both taken to the hospital, the Speaker's office saying he is expected to make a full recovery. The alleged attacker facing multiple charges, including attempted homicide, burglary, and assault with a deadly weapon. The suspect's online social media pages show multiple false conspiracy theories relating to COVID-19, the 2020 election, and the federal government. San Francisco police, Capitol Police, and the FBI are now jointly investigating. Authorities still trying to determine a motive. The White House saying the president and Nancy Pelosi spoke over the phone, and the president is praying for Paul Pelosi and for Speaker Pelosi's whole family. Lawmakers from both parties immediately condemning the attack. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell tweeting he is horrified and disgusted and grateful to hear Paul is on track to make a full recovery. The suspect's alleged call for Pelosi chillingly similar to the chants during the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
Nancy! Oh, Nancy!
Bring her out here! Hey! We're coming in if you don't bring her out!
Just 2 months ago, a rioter who carried a gun into the Capitol and threatened Speaker Pelosi was sentenced to more than 7 years in prison. Several men have been convicted in recent years of threatening the Speaker, and the Pelosi home was vandalized just last year. With just 11 days until midterm elections, the attack comes as threats of violence against lawmakers is at an all-time high.
The Ministry of Defence has accused the Russian government of peddling false claims after Moscow said UK forces helped with a drone attack on Russian fleets near the Crimean port of Sevastopol. Russian authorities say one warship was damaged in the attack overnight. Ukraine has not yet acknowledged the incident. They also claimed that British forces were involved in the explosions which damaged the Nord Stream gas pipelines last month. Well, responding to all the claims, the MOD said Moscow was resorting to invented stories to detract from their disastrous handling of the illegal invasion of Ukraine. Well, our correspondent in Kiev, Hugo Bechega, has more on that attack on Sevastopol.
The Ukrainians rarely comment on attacks and incidents in Crimea. What we had was a statement from the Russian Defense Ministry saying that this attack happened early this morning and was carried out by underwater and aerial drones. And they said that the target was the headquarters of the Black Sea Fleet in Sevastopol, and a minesweeper had sustained minor damage. So again, the Ukrainians haven't commented on these claims, but we've seen in recent weeks that Crimea has seen a number of explosions, attacks. I think the most recent was the explosion that hit the Crimea bridge, and that obviously led to a massive response by Russia targeting cities across Ukraine. And Crimea was annexed by Russia in 2014. The Ukrainians have been saying that they want to take back all territory that's under Russian occupation, including Crimea, which has special significance for President Putin.
Well, Russia says it's suspending participation in a UN-brokered agreement that allows grain exports from Ukraine in response to that drone attack in Crimea. Russia's foreign ministry said Moscow can no longer guarantee the safety of civilian ships involved in moving Ukrainian grain exports via the Black Sea. The United Nations is in contact with Russian authorities, calling the Black Sea Grain Initiative a critical humanitarian effort.
what appears to be a major break in the unsolved murder of 2 teenage girls. Their bodies found in Delphi, Indiana 5 years ago. Police reportedly set to make an arrest.
This morning, an update in a 5-year-old cold case involving the murder of 2 teenage girls in Delphi, Indiana. Sources tell our Indianapolis affiliate WRTV a suspect is now in custody, appearing in court Friday morning.
We've never forgotten them. Everybody's going to keep them in their minds forever.
The case, dating back to 2017, shrouded in mystery. Police released sketches of potential suspects in the murders of 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German. But up until this point, no charges.
How did this come to light almost 5 years after this crime was committed? Something broke in recent days, at least to the point that it gave them enough probable cause evidence to arrest this new person.
Williams and German disappeared while hiking in February of 2017. Authorities also discovered the teens took video of a man walking towards them. Investigators think the man in the video may have been involved in the murders. And now Libby German's older sister tweeting, "Just know how grateful I am for all of you. Today is the day." Police are expected to provide an update Monday. The victims' families one step closer in their quest for closure years later.
That's what we just keep hoping for, is that that one small thing will come to light and that this will be over soon.
Yeah, and after years of waiting and countless questions, Indiana State Police are expected to reveal more information about this arrest, including the name of the suspect, on Monday.
And staying in Arizona, staying in Maricopa County, staying in Phoenix. MSNBC anchor Ali Velshi in Phoenix. He has spent the day talking to Arizona voters. Ali, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. So Fawn was just kind of giving us the lay of the land there in the governor and the Senate race there. I'm curious, what are you picking up on the ground from folks in Arizona?
So Vaughn's there at a rally with people who are, highly politically motivated. I spent my day with 6 Arizonans, people from right around here, from across the political spectrum. There were 3 who identified as Republicans, 3 who identified as Democrats. And I will say, this very well, Steve, there's a long history of republicanism and conservatism in the state. In fact, the 3 conservatives I worked for I spoke to had all in their time at some point worked with or for John McCain. Here's what one of them told me about election denialism and how it's influencing his own vote as a Republican.
Most important issue in Arizona when I'm voting is protecting the essence of our democracy. We're, for worse, ground zero of this election denier stuff, the fraud, the audit that they did with the ballot in the 2020 elections. When I'm deciding who to vote for, it's a disqualifier if the person isn't 100% honest of the fact that we had an open, honest, fair, and free election.
Right. And you're speaking as a Republican.
I'm speaking yes, I'm technically a registered Republican.
So there you go. That's a Republican. By the way, all the Republicans on my panel had said they will not vote for election deniers. On the other hand, as you said, they got a 15-week abortion ban that goes back to a very, very old time in this state, like in Wisconsin and like in Michigan. There isn't a positive ballot measure. There's a woman I spoke to who had Native and Latina background. She was queer. She's a person of color. And she says that there's just a lot in this election that she feels outside of and attacked by. She's, by the way, she's quite young. She's 21 years old. Here's what she told me.
I think what's motivating me right now, especially with going to the election and going, voting. This is my first midterm election. Wow. And right. The big thing that I didn't think would have to be an issue is misinformation and denying something that is so simple and basic. At the end of the day, I am what most people target as. I am what is constantly being harmed. I am a queer person with a uterus, and it's like I'm of color, and it's just constantly my rights are being pushed away.
So you would appreciate this a lot, Steve. I had people from across the political spectrum, but they were united in this concept of what citizenship looks like, what pluralism looks like, what civic engagement looks like, the fact that down ballot races are really, really important, and that Arizona's got a proud political history of representing people across the political spectrum that they think is at risk of being lost right now. All of their messages to everyone else is, please go vote. Don't get up the next morning and be fascinated by the fact that some of these people won election in Arizona if you didn't vote. It was a very eye-opening conversation that I'm going to have a lot of on TV this weekend and into Monday.